Hi there, Chris from TotallyEV, and today we're going to be looking at the audio system that's comprised within the Mini Electric. Now if you'd like a full review of the car, do check it out on our website and also on our YouTube channel. It'll be linked in the description below. Also down there you'll find a link to our Instagram, so if you do use that social media platform, we'd very much appreciate a follow. It's at TotallyEVNet. So let's get into this review. Now first off, let's talk about the audio setup. Now within the Mini Electric level 1 and level 2, you'll find a 6-speaker audio configuration. There are 2 speakers at the front, 2 speakers located underneath the seats, and they are woofers, so in other words subwoofers that you will get to feel, and I'll touch upon this in just a bit. And you've got 2 speakers on the rear panel. If you go for the Mini Electric level 3, the level 3 trim, the top spec trim, that comes with a Harman Kardon system that has 12 speakers, so an additional 6 to what we've got over here. Now through the infotainment display on the level 2 and level 1 models, you'll have a treble and bass adjustments only, and of course you've got your normal volume settings such as speed dependent volumes, and of course your balance and fader. Now with that out the way, let's get on to a little sound demo. The song we'll be using is from Priya J. Her song name is called Falling. It'll be linked in the description below, and of course do subscribe to her if you do like her music. What we'll be doing is putting the camera in 4 separate positions throughout the cabin and giving you a little audio demo given the configuration that we've just talked about.
I'm not quite sussed yet. When I reach the brink, don't stop to think. I always sing, and now I'm singing. Oh, I'm crawling. I am crawling my way back to falling from so high, falling from so high. The thing is, my imagination is constantly racing.
Now with the sound demo out of the way, let's get into my subjective opinion about it. First off, let's talk about the sub bass. Now here, due to the 2 physical woofers which are located under the front seats, you get a nice sense of rumble and low end extension, which is really felt, and in comparison to some other all-electric cars which actually lack a subwoofer altogether, it's nice to see that Mini has kind of retained that, and therefore you do get a nice feeling to your music. Specifically if you're listening to R&B music or let's say dance music, it's far better pronounced in the low end region in comparison again to some of its competitors. The same could be said about the mid bass. However, in my case I tailored it with 2 notches on the EQ through the infotainment display, and that gave just a little bit more quantity that I wanted. The quality is very much there. You do feel a nice sort of presence, a nice sort of slam, and it's not overpowering, and neither does it cause any unwanted rattle throughout the cabin, no matter the volume that you're listening at. As for the mid-range, it is slightly recessed and very slightly pushed back, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because this car is kind of appealing to a younger crowd, and that more V-shaped sound signature does come out really fun sounding. So you've got a more warmer sound throughout the cabin, and no matter where you sit, you'll feel a sense of that. Now, given this, you can still tailor it through the EQ and add 2 notches to the treble, but you'll have to bear that in mind that that also adjusts the highs as well, so you won't want to go overboard or else the overall sound becomes a bit sibilant. Speaking of which, in terms of the highs themselves, they're really well extended. They provide a nice sort of extension at the top end, and that kind of clarity that will keep your toes tapping whilst you're listening to your music. And finally we get onto Soundstage, which is arguably its weakest point. Due to the fact that the Mini Electric level 1 and level 2 trims only have essentially 4 drivers which are dealing with instrument separation and the mid-range and highs, it means that the sound feels a little bit closed and doesn't extend as much as you'd want it to do. As a result, the depth and width is also not quite there, and given the size of the cabin, one might have expected just a slightly wider sound over some of its smaller all-electric competitors. So on the whole, what do I make about the Mini Electric's audio system? Well, quite frankly, most stock systems aren't perfect, and the Mini is no exception, given its soundstage is a bit closed and the mid-range is a little bit pushed back. But on the whole, I think Mini have achieved a good job of here, because it will appeal to a crowd which wants a more more fun sounding type of sound signature, and furthermore is one that actually excites in the low end frequencies, which is not something that could be said about some of its competitors. Now that's my own subjective opinions and thoughts about the Mini Electric's level 1 and level 2's audio system. Do let me know in the comments below how that translates to your thoughts about it, and of course if you've heard the level 3 trim with the Harman Kardon system, be very much intrigued to hear your thoughts on that as well. I've been Chris from TotallyEV. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to see more, and of course favorite and share if you feel that this video might help one of your family and friends. Alright, take care and bye bye.